Hello, people of the interwebs. I am Wallace 8th, 1/4, and you're watching Behind the Webcam. Today we have a guest. A guest in the vein of the many guests we've had. Another brilliant intellect, a mind of insight and rationale that is wonderful. Yes, that kind of guest, the kind of guest we are used to here on Behind the Webcam, the only kind of guest we like to have. And this guest also has an exceptional trait, a beautiful mane of hair. Please help me in welcoming Decker Shado!
Hello, William Wallace. It is great to be here.
And we are very pleased to have you, Decker. Except for my name is just Wallace. Wallace 8th, 1/4, not William Wallace. He's a different character altogether. I am vaguely aware. Scottish fellow, I believe. Yes. At any rate, let us delve right into the questions which will bring out that process, that mind which creates such wonderful videos. Tell me, Decker Shado, how did you get the name Decker Shado?
Well, when I started doing things online at all, I needed to sign in and provide a name, and of course, wasn't advisable to use your own name, so I had to come up with a pseudonym. Now, if you're familiar with the game Shadowrun, the class of hackers, the super hackers that just dive into cyberspace and do shit in a mysterious virtual dungeon, are called Deckers. Yes, Shadowrun did it years before Saints Row the Third. But nevertheless, I chose that name, Decker. And later on, I decided to add the surname Shado, spelled without a W, because it was the late 90s, and to do that was cool. And I was 14. Don't judge me!
I, Decker, would never judge. No, the name is perfectly sensible, though I'm not familiar with the game you mentioned, as I'm unfamiliar with many games out there. And dropping the W seems like a wonderfully 90s sort of tribute to your younger self at the age of 14. You see, yes, no, see, it's a tribute to your own younger self. As I have many tributes to my own younger self. I keep, the finger paintings I did as a child. I framed them around my home. Is that weird? No, I'm sure that's perfectly normal. I'm sure many people do that. Yes. But at any rate, Decker, as much as I'm enjoying our banter here about our own use and our own youthful indiscretions, or whatever you want to call it, refer to it as, yes, I think we should move on to the next question. Tell me, what inspired you, Decker? What inspired you to make your videos?
Well, as you all know, the first series of movies I reviewed was the Alien Predator Total Destruction collection, so I just went in doing what I love, and I had a good time with it, and after that I just kind of felt like I should keep going, and I was getting a lot of positive feedback from my Facebook where some friends of mine were saying, hey, you're really good at this, you have a good voice, you have a good personality, so maybe you could try applying for Channel Awesome. And I was a big fan of the site, so I figured, I could just sort of slightly change over my style a bit to be more like that. But really, that wasn't too much of a change, except for me having a more on-camera personality and stretching the episodes out to last 20 minutes. Other than that, it was the same thing, and I really had to figure out what angle to go with, which was kind of hard at first, because I thought I needed a niche. I needed something that I could just call mine, some kind of thing to get people to watch me because I have this, I review only these, or I do that. And at the end of the day, every time I tried to figure out what thing specifically interested me that I would do, someone else was already doing it, or there are a bunch of people already doing it, and after all of that, I just said, screw it. I can't figure out a single thing, so I'm just going to do what I want, and I'm not going to have a character. I'm just going to be myself, Decker Shado. It's not a character, it's just me. That's just how I watch movies and how I talk and how I present myself. This is all ad-libbed. It's an interview, it's supposed to be, isn't it?
To be yourself. To be yourself, Decker. No, I dare say that is the most original idea I have heard. To be oneself. It is brilliant, yes, brilliant. It is inspiring to all of us, all of us who wish to just be ourselves, to show who we truly are, to not play ridiculous, over-the-top characters. Yes, yes. I can't stand those kind of people, those people who are clearly not being themselves, playing odd, strange folks who are not themselves, clearly. I mean, isn't that intolerable? Intolerable. Ugh. At any rate, though, Decker, now that we know your process, that we have discovered that you are truly yourself, ad-libbing as you go, let us move on to the more deep, artistic questions, the questions that will bring you out more fully for the audience. So tell me, if you had your choice between being killed by a predator or alien, which would you prefer?
Well, given the options, I would prefer to be killed by a predator. As much as I love xenomorphs, when an alien kills you, generally, they don't kill you right away. They drag it out and cocoon you, and then you get face-hugged, and you're there, and you're starving to death, and you're dying, and you're pale, and you're like, ah! And then a Marine finds you, and they're just like, kill me already! And then they're just screwing around with it, they don't know what's going on, and then... I mean, yeah, you sort of have a second life with the xenomorph, and it'd be cool to give birth to a xenomorph. That'd be one nice way to go out. But when the predators kill you, they will specifically match their technology with your skill level, so you'll have a legitimate chance to actually defeat them. And then they will cut out your skull with spine attached, hang it up on a wall, and actually admire that. And people will look at your skull and spine and be like, well, not people, other predators will look at your skull and spine and be like, okay, how'd you take him out? I was like, well, that was just hand to hand. I'm like, really? Nice. And you'll be admired in death, whereas after the xenomorphs are done with you, you're just kind of thrown into the hive compost heap.
To become a trophy. No, it's a aspiration I can see a person having. No, it works very well. It's as opposed to being a predominantly compost heap, as you so eloquently put it. Yes. No. I see the point. The bringing together of your ideas. No, the predator having a legitimate chance as well also helps. Make you feel a little bit better about your death, since you did have a chance to survive. I can see your logic clearly. It is a wonderful, sparkling logic. Let me take a moment to admire that logic. Moment over, so let me move on to the next question, Decker, the final question of our interview. Tell me, if you ran Asylum Films, would you prefer to do movies with bad effects and characters, or awful effects and plot?
I would have to say bad effects and character, because I just cannot forgive bad plots. Awful effects, I can forgive. Those can be really funny. Bad characters can also be really funny. But if it has a good plot in the middle there, it can still have the funny because it's so bad, but be enjoyable. If you just have an awful plot, it doesn't matter how the characters are. They just tear... It just doesn't make sense. It just tears it down. There are movies out there with good acting, good characters, good effects, and bad plots. And no. But, if I ran Asylum Films, honestly, I'd probably just liquidate the assets and go out and buy a strip club.
Liquidation of assets makes sense. It's a savvy business move, one that would garnish you money. The purchase of a strip club. I'm not sure that's a financially sound move. I don't know. Hold on, let me ask is there a demand for strip clubs? There is? People frequent them often. Really? I've personally never been in one. No, never in my life. I would never dream of such a thing. Detestable. So there is great demand for. So he could make it turns out he could make. That's an extremely savvy business move. It turns out I would not have dreamed that to be the case, but it turns out that selling off the assets, liquidation, as you put it, of Asylum Films, and let's get at that plot thing you were bringing up, because I'm the strip club thing's making my head hurt. The plot, yes, a bad plot does make for a poor movie experience indeed. I can see your point precisely, that with the characters being bad, you can sort of overcome much of that. This is brilliant point, brilliant. Thank you for being on Behind the Webcam, Decker Shado. Tell me, do you have anything to say before we go today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I just got a message from James. He's wondering why I haven't finished the documentary yet, so, gotta go!
So this is a strip club in the area we could go to and discover the appeal. Interesting. Oh, yes, documentary, yes. Well, good luck working upon that, documentary, Decker. I'm sure it will come out quite brilliantly, yes. And James will be most pleased with your progress, no doubt. I'm sure he's a very understanding boss. Technically also my own. Hopefully he didn't see that strip club thing. At any rate, well, thank you all for watching Behind the Webcam. Thank you, Decker, for being our guest. And remember, if you wish to be a guest on Behind the Webcam, all you simply have to do is leave a comment in the comment section below. The comment section below. Not the ground, not my groin, not my feet. The comment section. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Decker, for being our guest. And have a good night. We'll just start with the questions now. You see, it's in my nose itches and I cannot. God dang it! Oh, my nose itched so much all of a sudden I couldn't help it. I had to itch my nose. Wow. The joys of being an allergy sufferer. Interrupts my take, my itchy nose. That's wonderful. I'll put that at the end.
It's all ad-libbed. It's an interview. It's supposed to be, isn't it? I think you could probably cut that out a little earlier than that.
Yes, no. As opposed to being upon the compound. What do you mean? Okay.
Well, as much as I love xenomorphs, I personally would prefer... I turned into a MIDI machine.